If you consume this type of content, you are destroying your brain. And I think it's no exaggeration to say that, because I have been addicted to this type of content for a long time. I'm not talking about the prawn, right? I'm not talking about that, the P word. I'm talking about short form content. If you consume short form content, you are destroying your brain. If you wake up, scroll on Instagram or TikTok for a little bit to wake yourself up, or do what I did, which is after work or school, I'd be tired and I would scroll on Instagram, TikTok when I had it, and I would spend a couple hours a day scrolling on my phone, and it absolutely fries your brain. It destroys your ability to focus. It destroys your sleep schedule. That's like one of the worst parts, that if you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts, whatever, it destroys your ability to go to bed early, because you waste all this time. It's like time goes by so fast when you're scrolling on your phone, and then you try to go to bed, you're going to bed late, and also your brain is like heightened, and it gives you insomnia, and you can't go to bed because you're scrolling. It also destroys your attention span, like I said earlier. And I think this is actually worse than what you think, because it doesn't just destroy your attention span, it basically gives you ADHD. I have probably naturally mild ADHD, but it's heightened like tenfold when I am addicted to my phone. It is heightened when I am scrolling on Instagram. That's the short form content that I usually ingest when I was really addicted to it. When you are ingesting this stuff, it basically literally gives you ADHD. It also warps your perception of reality, and it does this in a very toxic kind of way, because the algorithm, specifically the short form content, which is the worst, is that it gives you content to make you stay on whatever platform that you're on. And usually this is like rage bait content. It's either rage bait content, it's brain rot, it is highly stimulating content, and it warps your perception of reality. I've seen so many dating short form content, like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, and where it's literally just rage bait. It's like saying the most insane stuff just to get attention. If you're watching, police brutality videos, people getting beheaded, insane dating advice that is just not true and just posted just to make people upset, it is warping your perception of reality. You're poisoning yourself. I think it's worse than even porn. And I know that's kind of controversial, but honestly, I think short form content is worse than porn. I do. Because short form content you can watch anywhere. It's socially acceptable. You can't just watch porn, on your downtime at work. But you can, during your lunch break, you can watch short form content, in between classes at school. You can't do that with porn. I guess technically you can, but not really. It's 90% of short form content is pure garbage. Only a couple short form videos that you watch is actually good and is going to change your perspective of life. Most of it is not. And unfortunately, I found that the only way to really do something about it is to prevent yourself from going down that rabbit hole in the first place. Because sometimes when you get sucked down the rabbit hole, you're sucked down. You can't. It's hard to really stop yourself once you are consuming it. When you're binging the type of content, I found that for myself, and so I think prevention is key. You should really stop yourself from watching that short form content. If you're gonna consume that type of content, which I don't recommend, honestly, there's really no benefit. Do it once a week and do it for a very strict time period. From this time to this time, I'm gonna consume it, and that's it. you know, just to see it. But the problem is it's very addictive. So if you start watching a little bit, you get sucked down the rabbit hole, and it's like crack. It's like internet crack. It's terrible. I think that you should switch from short form content to long form content, like podcasts, like long form educational videos. You know, that's the best, ideally. But even those, you can become addicted to it. So I think that ideally, the thing that you should do is to limit your short form content, cut it out completely, and then switch over to more long form content. Even of that content, I think you should really limit yourself to a couple hours a week, because you really don't need to consume that much internet. We're kind of conditioned to believe that we need to be on our phones 24/7, but we really don't. You know, realistically, we need to be on it for texting, for emailing, and then for consuming, you know, educational content if there's something that you're interested in. But even that, you need to limit yourself so you don't get sucked down a rabbit hole and become addicted. Guys, you gotta limit your internet use. So anyway, I make videos like this on self-improvement related topics like this one. If you like this video, subscribe,